Imagine this. A runaway trolley is speeding down a railway track. Ahead of it, 5 people are trapped and cannot move. You are standing beside a lever. If you pull it, the trolley will be diverted onto another track, but there is one person on that track. If you do nothing, 5 people die. If you pull the lever, one person dies because of your decision. You have only seconds. Do you pull it? This is the trolley problem, one of philosophy's most famous thought experiments. It is not really a puzzle about trains. It is a test of how we think about consequences, duties, responsibility, and the value of a human life. At first, the numbers appear to give us an easy answer. 5 lives are more than 1. Pulling the lever produces less total harm. This resembles consequentialist reasoning, judging an action mainly by the results it produces. Classical utilitarianism is one influential form of consequentialism. In simplified terms, it asks us to choose the action that creates the best overall outcome. From that perspective, refusing to act does not keep your hands clean. You could prevent 4 additional deaths. Doing nothing is still a choice, and its consequences are predictable. But not everyone accepts that morality can be reduced to arithmetic. A duty-based or deontological approach asks whether the action itself violates a moral rule or a person's rights. Deliberately redirecting the trolley means intentionally placing an innocent person in its path. The one person has not agreed to be sacrificed. Their life is not simply a number that belongs to the group, so the conflict becomes clearer. Is morality about producing the least harmful outcome, or are some actions wrong even when they lead to better results? Now change one detail. There is no lever. You are standing on a bridge above the track. Next to you is a large stranger. The only way to stop the trolley is to push this person from the bridge. Their body will stop the trolley. The 5 people will survive, but the stranger will die. The calculation is exactly the same. 1 life exchanged for 5. But the action feels very different. Why? In the lever version, the death of one person can be described as a side effect of redirecting an existing threat. In the bridge version, the stranger is used as the means of stopping the trolley. Their death is not merely foreseen. It is part of the plan. This difference is related to a philosophical idea known as the doctrine of double effect. Very roughly, it distinguishes between harm that is intended as part of an action and harm that is foreseen but not intended as the means to the goal. That distinction is debated and it does not solve every case. But it helps explain why 2 situations with identical numbers may produce different moral judgments. Psychology may also be part of the answer. Pulling a distant lever feels impersonal. Physically pushing a person requires direct force and creates an immediate emotional confrontation. Research on moral judgment suggests that personal and impersonal dilemmas can engage different patterns of emotional and controlled reasoning. But emotion is not necessarily irrational. Our resistance to pushing the stranger may reflect an important moral boundary. People should not be treated merely as tools. On the other hand, emotions can also make us inconsistent. If one person dies either way, why should physical distance decide whether saving 5 people is acceptable? And the dilemma becomes even harder when identity enters the picture. What if the one person is your child, your partner, or your closest friend? Would 5 strangers still outweigh one person you love? What if the 5 people cause the danger themselves while the single person is completely innocent? What if you are uncertain that pulling the lever will work? Real moral decisions rarely contain perfect information. Lives cannot be measured like identical objects, and consequences spread beyond the few seconds described in a thought experiment. This is also why the trolley problem cannot simply provide an ethical program for artificial intelligence or autonomous vehicles. Machines may be forced to distribute risk, but real accidents involve uncertainty, law, responsibility, and countless details that a simple 1 versus 5 equation removes. Still, the thought experiment matters. It exposes the principles hiding behind our instincts. When you pull the lever, you may be saying that outcomes matter most. When you refuse, you may be saying that no person should be deliberately sacrificed, even for a greater benefit. And when your answer changes between the lever and the bridge, you reveal that intention, personal force, and emotional distance matter to you too. The trolley problem does not give us a final answer. It gives us a mirror. So make your choice. Would you pull the lever to save 5 people? Would you push the stranger from the bridge? And if your answers are different, what exactly changed? The morality of the action or the way it made you feel? Write your answer in the comments. But do not give only a yes or no. Explain why.